Good morning. Welcome to Orange Coast Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Joel, and I am your worship associate today. I am joined by our minister, Reverend Sian Wiltshire, who will be speaking to you about knowing the body. And the body knows, of course. Yes, of course, that too. Also here are our co-music directors, Steve Morihiro and Susan Shaw, with piano accompanist Carrie Zhao and guest musician Zeno Mueller. Yes. Along with Danielle Lewis, our Director of Religious Exploration for Children and Youth. Yes. We all welcome you here this morning. Whether you've been coming for years, weeks, or hours, like parks, beaches, or flowers, we are glad that you chose to be with us this fine day. I do want to extend a special welcome to visitors. If you're seeking a special spiritual home, we hope that you will find it here. We're a community of many different identities and beliefs. We are bound together not by dogmas, creeds, beliefs, or fears, political parties or classes, but rather a covenant to create a welcoming, inclusive, and loving community. We need not think alike to love alike. In the spirit of building this community, let's recognize the many volunteers who have helped put this service together today. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for your time and talent. Roomers, we invite you to silence your cell phones, and Zoomers, we invite you to say hello in the chat. As we worship today, let us also acknowledge that our church property rests on the sacred ancestral homelands of the Ahachiman and Tongva peoples who seek justice and responsible stewardship. With that, we will begin our worship with the lighting of the chalice. So please, join me in lighting the chalice as we say our unison affirmation together. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. Dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. This we affirm together. Okay, please rise in body or spirit and join my lovely wife Jolene in singing our opening song.
Feel free to dance. Let it be a dance we do, and may I have this dance with you, through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Play the music, say the words, and fill the sky with sailing words. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the need. To reap the harvest, plant the seed. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you, through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Let your body learn to bend, and like a willow with the wind. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. A child is born, the old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by, and let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you, through the good times and the bad times too. And let it be a dance. morning star comes out at night. Without the dark there is no light. If nothing's wrong and nothing's right, let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. And let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance. Let the sun.
All right. I want to just take a moment also to introduce you all to, many of you know, James and Kayla. They're going to be helping me with the service today. They are... They have been practicing somatic movement for a very long time, and so I'm very grateful that they're here with me. All right. You know, we arrive here carrying everything that we've been holding all week long, the tons of emails, the scrolling, the news of a war that doesn't seem to stop, the quiet relief of the Artemis's safe landing, the gas prices, the worry about family, about jobs, and maybe it's the excitement about graduation coming. And you know, we hold all of this. We hold all of it in our bodies. And I really mean that literally. We hold it in our shoulders, our jaws, right? Our chests and our stomachs. Our bodies are keeping hold of every single thing. So today we're going to try something a little different. We're going to slow down. We're going to quiet that restless, chattering, planning, worrying voice that never quite seems to stop. We're going to listen, not just with our minds, but with our whole embodied selves. Because the body knows, it remembers, and it feels. It knows when something is wrong before you can name it. It knows when you're finally safe. It knows grief and joy and pleasure and fear, often before your brain has even filed the paperwork. And when we stop listening to it, when we live entirely from that neck up, it has a way of getting our attention. So today, we're going to listen to it. We're going to begin the way that all things should begin, with beauty. Zeno is going to play for us classical guitar. I love it. And your only invitation right now is this: to let the music move you and to notice what your body does, what it feels. Does it want to tap a foot? Does it want to sway? Does your breath slow down or deepen or even catch? If that kind of inward attention feels unfamiliar to you, that's okay. Simply watch Zeno. No pressure there, Zeno. But watch how his body works, how his fingers find the strings, how his whole self leans into the sound. So let's begin here in beauty and in body together. Thank you. Okay, let's take a deep breath and just appreciate that beautiful music, because we are about to go from the sublime to the ridiculous. And I need everyone's help with this, all right? And that's the kids, the adults, it's roomers, it's Zoomers. Zoomers, I'm watching, okay? Okay? Because we are going to play Simon Says, and I want to invite James and Kayla and Joel and Danielle up here. If we want to move this back. Joel, if you want to stand up there, you guys do whatever you guys want to do there. All right, we're going to play Simon Says. Now, do you remember how to play? Kind of vaguely, no. Okay, so Simon Says. If Simon says, touch your nose, you touch your nose, right? But remember, if Simon does not say, Simon Says, you don't do it. So you got to be paying attention, right? Being present and listening. All right, now, Zoomers, you guys ready? Because I'm watching you too. I'm going to be putting you guys on gallery mode here. All right. All right, see, I got you. All right. Glenn, I'm watching. All right. All right. All right, I'm Simon. So let's go. Simon says, take a deep breath in and out. Simon says, place one hand on your heart. Simon says, smile at someone near you. Simon says, give your shoulders one slow roll back. Simon says, wiggle your fingers like it's the first time you've ever had fingers. Wave at someone on Zoom or in the room. Ah, gotcha. I did say Simon Says. All right. Simon says, pat the top of your head. Simon says, now rub your tummy at the same time. All right, Simon says, make your most dignified face. Make your least dignified face. Ah, gotcha. Did say Simon Says.
I think you got one.
Got a couple ones there. Okay. All right. Simon says, turn to your neighbor and give them your very best royal wave. All right. Simon says, blink in slow motion. Scratch your nose. Oh, I got one. Didn't say Simon Says. You guys are getting good at this. All right. Simon says, do your best impression of a very confused penguin. Now, Simon says, shake out one hand like it just touched something mysterious. Simon says, do a microscopic dance. Simon says, now make it slightly bigger. Now make it even bigger. Ha ha. No, I didn't say Simon Says. All right, Simon says, take one more deep breath together. Simon says, place your hands on your lap. And Simon says, notice how you feel right now. Your body just played and it laughed, it followed along and it got confused, it recovered, it kept going. That's what bodies do, right? They know how to play. So thank you for playing with us today. And Danielle will now sing our children out to their religious education classes. want to say thank you to the Zoomers I saw. They were following along. It was very cool. Well done. Well done. All right. All right. Well, we just played. We laughed. We let our bodies feel a little ridiculous together. And it wasn't just fun, but it's actually kind of holy, isn't it, to do that? Just every once in a while, play. Well, I'd like to invite you to do something a little more quieter this morning, to just maybe take a deep breath. We're going to go into a time of meditation or contemplation, whatever you would like to call it. So if you're comfortable, let your eyes close or just soften your gaze. Let your hands rest somewhere easy. Let your feet feel the ground beneath you. And I want to invite you to start by placing one hand on your heart, the center of your chest. Do you feel that? Do you feel your heart beating? It's been beating since before you were born, before you had a name, before anyone knew who you would become, before you had any idea what this life would hold. It has been beating through your grief and your joy, your sleepless nights and your best mornings. And it didn't ask for your permission, did not wait for you to deserve it. It just kept going. So I'd like you this morning, if you feel comfortable, to take a moment to just appreciate it. You might say thank you silently, or just feel it. However gratitude moves you. Now I want to invite you to place your hands on your ribs, bringing your attention to your breath, to your lungs. And to feel that gentle rise and fall. Your breath moving in and out, in and out. You've probably taken somewhere between 15 and 20,000 breaths today alone. Most of them without a single thought from you. Your lungs have been quietly, faithfully doing their work through every hard conversation, every moment of fear, every hug, every love, every time you forgot to notice them at all. So take a moment to appreciate these wonderful lungs. Now I want to invite you to turn your attention to your palms. Maybe put them in your lap if that's comfortable. Lift your eyes and look down at those wonderful hands. These hands have held so much. They've held the people you love. They've held tools and pens and steering wheels in the hands of people who needed you. They've wiped tears, yours and others. They've made things. They've reached out. I invite you to offer them the same gratitude. Now I want to invite you to wrap your arms around your body in a hug, in whatever way you can. Because this body, your body, has survived everything life has thrown at it so far. 100% of your hardest days, every single one. It carried your story, it holds your history. Every scar is a chapter, every ache is evidence of a life fully lived. And it brought you here today, to this room, to this community, to this moment. And it works every moment to keep you alive and healthy as best it can. So thank your body. not for being perfect, not for performing, not for looking any particular way or being able to do any particular thing, just for taking care of you. And when you're ready, take one more deep breath. Let your eyes open. And when you're ready, I invite you to join in whatever way you would like, Susan, Jeffrey, and Jenny, in singing.
I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love.
When my niece Alex was about 6 years old, I was visiting and it was bedtime, and Alex did not want to go to bed. So she did what 6-year-olds do when they have a very important opinion. She crossed her arms, jutted out her lower lip, and she blended her feet. She struck a pose of such profound and full-bodied outrage. I had a hard time not laughing. I was like, It was magnificent. But here's the thing, right? She wasn't performing, she wasn't thinking, what gesture best communicates my displeasure right now? Her body just did it, right? Her emotions moved her right through without stopping to ask for permission. And we all started out that way, right? As children, our feelings live in our bodies. We don't just feel sad, we collapse, right? We don't just feel joyful, we spin and jump and shout. And we don't just feel frustrated, we plant our feet and jut out our lower lip with tremendous dignity. And then somewhere along the way, we get those messages, right? Big girls don't cry. Be a man. Don't make a scene. Pull yourself together. Calm down. And none of these messages were meant cruelly most of the time. They were passed down by people who'd received the same messages, who were trying to help us navigate a world that is not always gentle with big feelings. But what they taught us, slowly and cumulatively, was this: your body's instincts are inconvenient. Learn to override them. And so we did. And we got very, very good at living from the neck up. Well, about 25 years ago, my body started sending me messages, and I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Now, for those who don't know it, it's a condition of widespread persistent pain and exhaustion. And I remember just everything ached all the time. And at that point, fibromyalgia was barely understood. So if you just ached and were exhausted, oh, that must be fibromyalgia. So they gave you a little check mark, right? The doctors really weren't sure what to do with it, neither did I. I managed for a long time, but it was constantly tired and hurting. Pain will do that. About 8 years later, I stumbled across the work of a doctor named John Sarno. He was a professor of rehabilitation medicine at New York University School of Medicine, and he specialized in back pain. And in fact, he was also a neuroscientist as well. And he noticed something very troubling about his back patients, that many of his patients were not getting better, even after surgery and all of the PT, everything that they were doing, after doing everything right. And in fact, they noticed that, for example, if they found that there was a bone spur or something like that, oh, well, that must be causing the pain. But then they did x-rays of people who also had bone spurs who didn't have any pain. And they were like, what? What is going on here? Now, the story that I heard was that his secretary noticed something, that the patients who weren't recovering were all very stressed when they came to the reception room. They were all type A personalities, very driven, high achieving, and very hard on themselves. So Sarno tried to do something very radical. Instead of treating their bodies, he started talking to them, helping them excavate the stress and repressed emotion that had nowhere to go. And to the bafflement of many colleagues, they got better. He named what he discovered tension myositis syndrome, or TMS, much easier to say, TMS. The core idea is that the body, when it has no other outlet for emotion, particularly things like rage and guilt and grief, that's held on too long and too tight, will sometimes produce real physical pain triggered by mild oxygen deprivation in muscles and nerves. So this is not imaginary pain, it's very real pain. And I should say that most mainstream doctors do not embrace Sarno's framework, not a surprise. It does remain contested. I'm not a doctor, I'm not prescribing anything, but basically, take your medicine, see your doctor. But I will say that more and more people are noticing the mind-body connection. So I tried his protocol about how you're supposed to do it, and I realized I had a lot of repressed anger. And I let myself then start to feel that. I started using the protocol that they do, which just has to do with imagining things and stuff like that. Because I feel like I let myself feel what was storing up very efficiently in my muscles and nerves for years, and the pain over time dissipated. So I don't believe I actually had fibromyalgia. I believe I had TMS. Now that may not be true for everyone, but it was true for me. So here's what I've come to believe. Our bodies are not separate from our spiritual selves, our spiritual lives. They are our spiritual lives. They are where we actually live, right? Every moment of connection, every experience of love, every grief we've carried, every joy that has moved through us, it has all lived in our bodies. We are not minds that happen to have bodies. We are bodies with lungs and hearts and, yes, a mind, a whole complex wisdom-carrying bodies. And we live in a culture that has it kind of backwards, right? We treat the mind as the real self, the part that thinks and decides and achieves, and the body as the vehicle that carries it around. So we feed it, we rest it, we fix it when it breaks, and otherwise just sort of keep it out of the way. We don't really pay much attention to it. Descartes gave us that split about 400 years ago. I think, therefore I am, right? And we've been living in our heads ever since. But therapists, doctors, and wise people have been learning to listen. In fact, there's a practice called somatic movement that is helping us listen. That word somatic comes from the Greek soma, meaning the body. And somatic movement is simply this: the practice of bringing your full and conscious presence into your body and how your body moves. It's based on the understanding that every experience that we've had, every joy, every loss, every moment of fear or tenderness is stored not just within our memories, but in our tissues, in our posture, in the way we hold our breath without knowing it, in the places where we've gone tight and stayed there. So somatic movement offers a way to gently meet all of that, not through words or analysis, but through movement. The body becomes its own guide, its own healer, and it begins to move more freely. Old patterns start to soften. Old emotions may surface, not to overwhelm us, but to just be witnessed and released. Now, James and Kayla over here, they've been doing this work for years through their ministry, Living Presence. Many of you know them already and know of the quality of their attention and the care that they bring to everything they do. They understand bodies, their capacities, their limitations, and their surprising gifts. And they're going to guide us now into an experience of exactly what we've been talking about this morning. And this is not performance, it's not a workout, it's an invitation to listen to the body that has carried you through everything, and to the wisdom that has been waiting quietly for you to slow down enough to hear it. So James and Kayla, would you like to lead us?
She's already set the tone. And we can set the tone for each other. When we're at peace here, we can demonstrate and express peace here. Peace starts here. We all know this, you know. So this is a practice in coming to a state of unearned love, grace, and peace, where we can settle in. We can really, really settle in, not with our thinking mind. You know, it's true, most of us are taught to live here, and not only here, but up in the left half of the frontal lobe. We're just super, super logical. And this is the power of expressive art forms to bring us into this presence that we don't think into existence, but it's available. And it gives us the stable ground of existing just as we are. And who we really are, who we really, really are, just fits perfectly. So this is an invitation to rest in who you really are, which is perfectly lovable and perfectly at peace if we let it be. So we're going to let this moment be as it is, and we're going to allow ourselves to be as we are. Even with our wounds and the things that have happened to us in the past, in this moment, we're just going to let it all settle. Listening. How does this moment want to breathe through you? How do we lean into this moment and breathe with this moment? We don't have to figure out this moment. We don't have to figure out our bodies. We can experience this moment, sensations in our bodies. We You feel ease. Let it be ease. Feel discomfort. Make peace with that discomfort. We can bring presence into those areas we feel tension. Each breath, allow yourself little micro movements where you can get a little more comfortable. It might be a shift in your hips. It could be a small movement in your neck. Finding our own center mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and with our body as almost a map. Where our head is not too far forward, not too far back. Our spine is not too erect and not too slouched. What is your center? Not too far left, not too far right. We could even call this finding the middle path. If you notice busyness in the mind, just let that settle. Now we're going to ease out of this stillness, but we're going to maintain this inner connection to this inner center, this inner center that's always with us. It flows through each one of us like a living water that connects us as one whole. And as we allow this water, this living reality, this living truth to flow through us, we can start to open up and allow movement to start to open up our chest. When we open our chest, it feels very vulnerable. When we open up our heart, it feels very vulnerable. When we open up to peace, it feels very vulnerable. So I'd like to invite you into standing if you feel comfortable. You can remain seated if you'd like. Again, maintaining this inner stillness and just allowing movement to move as though we're moving through water. And as we allow these ripples to move through, it's almost as though this movement is our practice of peace. Just like a musician expresses. And we are like musical notes in a grand symphony. Each one of us, a unique, harmonizing note.
It's okay to not know how to move. It's okay to be self-conscious about movement. It's okay to be shy about it. It's okay for it to not look good at all.
Yeah. So let's play with a few different things. What does it feel like to expand? What does it feel like to contract? What does it feel like to move left or right? What does it feel like to be light or stable? What does it feel like to be floppy and wiggly? What does it feel like to be free? What does it feel like to move with spirals? Where do these spirals lead us? Are we moving, or is there a movement that wants to happen? Maybe we'll do a little moving through the aisles if you feel inspired. Almost like a little conga line. And we'll just we'll do a nice little circle for those of us that want to move through a circle. Move at your own pace. Wiggle in your own way. You might move slow, you might move fast.
Maybe you want to notice what it's like to move with your hips only. What do your hips want to do? It's okay to have a limitation in your body, and you just move with that limitation. Maybe your shoulders want to figure out how to move. Maybe you notice now the music is guiding you.
What I like about spirals is at some point they connect and you don't know who's leading. Maybe even mimic slightly the person in front of you. Maybe make your own changes and see how it ripples through the circle. Make your way back to your seat, or possibly someone else's seat. And a little final piece for some of you, maybe the last little bit of wiggles that just want to get out. You ever see children? Sometimes they just wiggle it out.
Thanks for playing around with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for participating.
Thank you for participating in being free.
Oh. How do you feel different from when you walked in this morning? Okay, don't analyze it, right? Just feel it. Just feel it. Because what you did showing up and playing and breathing and moving and paying attention, it's kind of radical, right? I was noticing some people walking by and they're either going, I want to join that, or, whoa, what is going on in there? In a world that's running really fast and making us run with it, choosing to slow down and listen is a beautiful spiritual act, and it's countercultural. Your body's been with you your entire life. It's never once left you. It has carried everything. And it got you out of bed this morning. It even made you play Simon Says. Here's my invitation to you as you go back into your week. Maybe just once a day, just pause and check in. Not a long meditation, not asking you to do a yoga retreat. Just a moment. Place your hand on your heart and ask, what is my body trying to tell me? Maybe move a little with it. See what moves in you. You don't have to fix anything. Just notice. That's the whole practice. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your willingness to show up embodied exactly as you are, to play, be a little ridiculous and serious. And thank you to James and Kayla, whose gifts made this morning possible. So when you're ready, I'd like you to join Jolynn in singing, When the Spirit Says Do.
If the Spirit says do stand, then do stand. If the Spirit does not, then don't. You've got to do when the Spirit says do. You've got to do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you've got to do. Oh Lord, you've got to do when the Spirit says do.
Unitarian Universalist congregations are fully self-supporting, meaning that the members and friends raise all funds for the operating budget, ministries, and programs of the church. We are ever grateful for your gifts of time, treasure, and talent. OCUUC amplifies that spirit of generosity by sharing half of the plate we receive with an organization that shares our values. This month, we are partnering with Earth Justice, an environmental justice group founded in 1971 with a team of over 200 full-time lawyers that have protected countless species from extinction and secured long overdue limits on our nation's worst polluting industries. There are multiple ways in which you can support this church and this organization. You can mail a check, you can go through our website, or use an app called Vanco Mobile. If you're a roomer, you can also simply use the basket as it's passed around. The choice is yours. All the information is on our website should you need it. As always, thank you for your generosity.
Thank you, Zeno. Please join in singing We Gather Together, a song that puts our intentions into words and expresses our gratitude for the many gifts that we share. We gather together, we gather as one, for peace, love, and justice for everyone. We give from our hearts to show that we care. We can change lives with what we share.
Now is that time when we honor the important events and people in our lives, and you are invited, one and all, whether you're a member, a friend, a visitor, whether you're a roomer or a Zoomer, to participate in our weekly ritual called Joys and Sorrows. So I'm going to invite Nicole up here. She's one of our pastoral care team members in training, and she's going to assist you in lighting your candles. And the idea is, if you've come here today holding something close to your heart, moments from the last days, weeks, or hours, something that maybe struck you at your core, if you'd like to honor such a profound joy or sorrow, you were invited to do so. If you're a roomer, you can come forward and light a candle. And if you'd like to share your joy or sorrow, you can write it out on a slip of paper that the ushers have. Just raise your hand, they'll bring you over that. And then just simply hand it to me or Nicole when you come forward to light your candle. If you're a Zoomer, you can write it in the chat, and I will then Nicole will then light a candle for you, and I'll read those out loud as well. So as music is played, I invite you to silently offer healing or celebration as you feel called and according to your own beliefs. Please come forward. All right, well, let's see, here in the room, Corey and April lit a candle of joy because they said, along with other church friends, we enjoyed a wonderful French-themed gourmet dinner of several courses accompanied by wine and other libations, which was offered at our last auction event. Thank you, Peggy. Okay, yeah, so when you come to the auction, do anything with Peggy because she's a gourmet cook. Yeah, just so you know. Aaron N., he lit a candle of joy for celebrating my wife's 65th birthday. She has been a source of deep love and joy for me for 42 years. I appreciate her so much. Aww. Happy birthday, Amelia. And Bella lit a candle of joy. She says, God is good, finally driving again after 6 years of not driving. Well done. And Heidi also lit a candle of joy. She says, my 2 little children who are growing to love music and have been doing so well in their piano class. I'm so happy to pass down this joy that my mother gave me. Awesome. And Carrie lit a candle of both joy and sorrow. She says, I'm glad to be home. We're really glad you're back with us too, and I know why it's hard. And Cece and Tashi, they lit a candle of hope. Hope for Wednesday, big day for us. We hope goes well without any issues or problems and the best possible outcome. Let's hope that for Cece and Toshi. And Sarah J., our administrator, she lit a candle of sorrow because her sister Martha will likely pass today from colon cancer. Please give Sarah a hug when you see her. Online, Sarah C., who is home nursing a broken ankle, she lit a candle of joy. She says, I like games like Simon Says and to relax my body to music. It's so relaxing. Thank you, Sarah. I hope you didn't hurt your ankle moving too much. All right, let us hold in love all the joys and celebrations and all the hurts and sadness, both spoken and silent. Let our joys remind us to be thankful, our concerns remind us to hope, and our sorrows remind us to connect. Let all these moments remind us that we are not alone. And I want to invite you to join Nicole in a spirit of prayer or meditation.
Thank you. Breathe with me. Breathe with me the breath of life. Inhale, inspire, inspiration. Ruach, Pneuma, Spiritus, the Holy Spirit, the many names for breath. Breathe with me. Know that with each breath, we take in molecules of air that were breathed by every person that ever lived. Breathe with me. And breathe the breath of Jesus, of Moses, of Muhammad, of the Buddha. Breathe with me. And feel the connection to one another, to the ancient breath, to the bodies that brought us here. May we be gentle with these vessels that carry our stories. May we slow down enough to hear what they are telling us. And may we remember that the holy is not somewhere else. It is here, in the breath, in the body, in the beating heart. Amen.
Thank you for joining us this morning. So please, let us all join together as we extinguish the flame of our chalice and say together, we extinguish our chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Again, thank you for joining us this morning. If you are a guest, a visitor, or someone who hasn't yet been known to us, I invite you to become a part of this beloved community. If you'd like to know more about the church, we invite you to either stop by the welcome table in the courtyard outside or contact us at one of the many methods that we have posted here on the wall, and we will help you get connected. Zoomers are welcome to stay after and chat with one another online, and we do want everyone to feel the same sense of belonging that we all felt lucky to have received here among our fellowship. So please, reach out, and we will reach right back.
I just want to make some announcements. If you notice that Mesa Verde is blocked off, we got this Cruise the Loop thing going on, so a bunch of our people are out there. Hopefully, people will be coming by. We'll see if they do. I want to mention a couple of things. I've got a couple of classes going. One starts this coming week. That's a class on the historical Jesus. So we'll be looking at him from a very historical human point of view. That starts on Thursday evening on Zoom, so everybody is welcome. It's free. There's no limitation of how many people could show up, and if you can't make one of the classes, that's fine. I'll be recording them, so you can join it at any time. And then a week from Saturday, I'm also doing a class for a couple hours on a Friday morning about planning your celebration of life service. This is what we call memorial services, but it's a great way, because what we're going to do, the way we do it as Unitarian Universalists, is we really celebrate that life. We look at all of the things that they've done in their life, what they want, what wisdom they have brought to the world, everything. And so this is something that's actually a gift to your family to do this, because I can't tell you how many times I've had family come in and go, I have no idea what they would want or like or anything like that. And if you think, oh, I don't want a celebration of life service, I don't want a memorial service, suck it up, because it's not for you, it's for your family, okay? And they need it, all right? So you'll notice that the tables are not out. We have all of our tables are in Daniel's Hall, which is the building right next door, where we've got coffee and we've got goodies. And one thing I forgot to light a candle of joy for is, if you notice these flowers down here, these are flowers from me, because we are celebrating this week the 13th year that I was voted into this congregation. So. So thank you. In celebration of that, some of you know I've been learning how to bake. I've got some baked goods for people. So if you'd like to have some lemon drizzle or strawberry sponge cake, go for it. So, all right. There's lots of other things you can see that's going on up there. The big one also is the auction that's coming up. We need people to donate things, parties, all that sort of thing. If you have a talent like Peggy and can cook, that's awesome. Or and then there's also 50-50 tickets to do. Like James and Kayla, we did last time, they did a tea ceremony that we did with them, and that was just amazing. But I do also have a little bit of a sorrow to announce that unfortunately James and Kayla will be leaving us at the end of this month to move up to the Bay Area. So yeah, we're gonna miss them. But they're gonna come back and visit. They definitely have family down here, so they'll be visiting. So, all right, everybody, just remember that your body knows, right? So listen to it. Please join in singing our recessional song. This service is over. Let our service continue.